Bitcoin just had one of its most important anniversaries to date. Can you guess what it is? Something we've been expecting for a while, but that doesn't make it any less triumphant. We'll get you filled in with all the details in just a second. I'm your host, Layah Heilpern, and this is the Exodus Crypto News. It's a big milestone for the world's most popular decentralized cryptocurrency. 90% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist have now been mined. There's now 18.89 million Bitcoins floating around in the ether out of the total 21 million coins that will ever exist. It only took about 12 years to reach this point. However, issuance is going to drastically reduce from here on out. According to most estimates, we won't mine the remaining 10% of Bitcoin until around the year 2140. How many of the 18.89 million Bitcoin that have ever been mined so far are still around? Well, the blockchain analytics company Chainalysis has actually claimed that 3.7 million Bitcoin have been lost forever. They arrived at that number after looking at Bitcoin wallets that contain coins but haven't transacted for 5 years or more. These kinds of estimates aren't perfect, however, they do tend to be pretty accurate. And that is good news for Bitcoin hodlers because coins that are lost actually reduce the supply of Bitcoin in the market. And the smaller the supply, the higher prices can go once demand ramps up again. Getting back to the main topic though, why is it so important that 90% of BTC have already been mined? Well, it's another reminder of how Bitcoin beats fiat currencies like the dollar and the euro. Government currencies are controlled by politicians and of course central bankers, and we all know how happy they are to print trillions of new bills at the drop of a hat. Given that central bankers run the printing presses, there's literally no limit to how much money they can create. You could never say, for example, 90% of all the dollars that will ever exist have already been created. What a joke. But with Bitcoin, yes, of course you can. As governments and central banks debase their currencies, Bitcoiners can look out 100 years into the future and know with almost perfect certainty exactly how many BTC will exist on that date, whether it's 2030 or 2130. Bitcoin's predictable monetary policy gives hodlers an assurance that it won't be printed into worthlessness. Bitcoin is the internet's response to the dollar, and it's a great improvement. Bitcoin is decentralized, censorship resistant, and its monetary policy is laid in stone for the world to see. 90% mined and going strong. Today marks just another milestone in Bitcoin's long list of achievements. Thanks for watching, everyone. We've got a lot more videos for you, so just click any of these videos to keep watching. Until next time, HODL on.